I was saying because it's deeply embedded in the fabric of humanity. Racism is. It was going on in biblical times. It will go on until Jesus returns. Um, they're good. It's good that we have people out there that well, I don't know what I was gonna say, y'all, but when I said there are, I guess I was gonna say there are good people out there that are fighting against it. I don't know what I was gonna say, but anyway, it's gonna go on until Jesus returns, and of course, Christ is gonna rule 1,000 years, and then after the final judgment, which is Judgment Day, it will be no more. Racism is something that came into fruition as a result of Adam's sin against God. Sin brought all corruption into this world. That's the reason why you can't run up and pet a lion without being attacked. Because a lion is in beast mode, kill mode. And even the animals on earth are not supposed to have the personalities that they have. Just as, I did a conference a while back speaking about how, vegetation isn't supposed to die, and it's susceptible to death. Everything on this planet is susceptible to death. And if it's something like a beast or a human, it's susceptible to hatred. We're all susceptible to hatred or love or what different emotions. Even the animals are. Animals have jacked up ways about them too. And humanity definitely, in general, has jacked up ways. It's just going to be a problem until Christ returns, you guys. And the only thing as believers, the only thing believers can do, because believers have been transformed by the renewing of their minds and have had a new heart created in them, the type of heart you're supposed to have, before sin, and even then, it's still in a fallen state. So it's still not all the way the type of heart we're supposed to have. That's why the Bible says, keep thy heart with all diligence, because a good heart, a pure heart, has to be kept. Because if you're not careful, the enemy can creep in unawares. Before you know it, you'll be sitting there sharing the same views as the world, and sharing the same thoughts and feelings of the world. That's the reason why you have to guard your eye gate and your ear gate and your heart gate, and keep it. You have to keep your heart, because only the pure in heart shall see God. So as believers have to be careful what, just the things, the conversations that they're in, because they can be drawn back to that old man, that old way of thinking. If a believer who was once racist hang around a bunch of racists long enough, they may find themselves feeling those feelings again. So you have to come out from among them and be separate. And it doesn't matter what your ethnicity is, because people can rub off on you. I don't care what anybody says. Or there could be people that, they're involved with people of another ethnicity, but they don't like other people of that same ethnicity. So you've got different strokes for different folks out here, meaning everybody's different. Everybody has their Goliath. That's the reason why you have to. And then you got some people don't have a racist bone in their body, but you have to be around people where you're like-minded, and then that way you don't have to worry about the enemy coming in unawares, corrupting you, because people are not supposed to be racist. I don't care what nobody says. Nobody's supposed to be racist. All that stuff that Dr. King went through, and the people during the civil rights movement era, they weren't supposed to have to go through that stuff. But because there were people out there that hated them because of the way that they looked. Because, see, I feel like when it's something like that, hatred first starts within. There was something about those quote-unquote black people from the civil rights movement that made the people that hated them because of what they looked like feel threatened. They felt threatened by them. And to be honest, don't think that jealousy didn't play a part either. Look at how beautiful the black women were during the civil rights movement. There were some beautiful black women out, and they dressed sophisticated, they looked sophisticated, they spoke in a sophisticated manner. Look how they carried themselves in a proper manner. There were a lot of sophisticated black men on the scene back then. They dressed sophisticated every day that they stepped out. They wore suits. The ladies wore dresses, and they just looked like a very, very sophisticated people. Remember, was it something called Black? I don't know. I think it was called Black was it Black Wall Street or Black? It was something like that. Let me. I got my computer here. Let me see. Hang on, you guys. Bear with me. Black. Yeah, the Black Wall Street Massacre was a 2 day long white supremacist terrorist massacre that took place between May 31st and June 1st, 1921. It has here. Hang on, you guys. Let me see. When mobs of white residents, some of whom had been appointed as deputies and armed by city government officials, attacked black residents and destroyed homes and businesses of the Greenwood district in Tulsa, Oklahoma. The event is considered one of the worst incidents of racial violence in American history. The attackers burned and destroyed more than 35 square blocks of the neighborhood at the time, one of the wealthiest black communities in the United States, known as Black Wall Street. Hang on, you guys. More than 800 people were admitted to hospitals, and as many as 6,000 black residents of Tulsa were interned in large facilities, many of them for several days. The Oklahoma Bureau of Vital Statistics officially recorded 36 dead. The 2001 Tulsa Reparations Coalition examination of events identified 39 dead, 26 black, and 13 white. Based on contemporary autopsy reports, death certificates, and other records, the commission gave several estimates ranging from 75 to 300 dead. The massacre began during Memorial Day weekend after 19-year-old Dick Rowland, a black shoe shiner, was accused of assaulting Sarah Page, a white 17-year-old elevator operator in the nearby Drexel building. I think that's the correct pronunciation. He was arrested, and rumors that he was to be lynched were spread throughout the city, where a white man named Roy Belton had been lynched the previous year. Upon hearing reports that a mob of hundreds of white men had gathered around the jail where Rowland, I think this is his name, Rowland, was being held, a group of 75 black men, some armed, arrived at the jail to protect Rowland. I know that's right. I know that's right. The sheriff persuaded the group to leave the jail, assuring them that he had the situation under control. The most widely reported and corroborated inciting incident occurred as the group of black men left when an elderly white man approached O.B. Man, a black man, and demanded that he hand over his pistol. Man refused, and the old man attempted to disarm him. A gunshot went off, and then, according to sheriff's reports, all hell broke loose. The two groups shot at each other until midnight, when the group of black men were greatly outnumbered and forced to retreat to Greenwood. At the end of the exchange of gunfire, 12 people were dead, 10 white and 2 black. Alternatively, another eyewitness account was that the shooting began down the street from the courthouse when black business owners came to the defense of a lone black man being attacked by a group of around 6 white men. It is possible that the eyewitness did not recognize the fact that this incident was occurring as a part of a rolling gunfight that was already underway. As news of the violence spread throughout the city, mob violence exploded. White rioters invaded Greenwood that night, the next morning, killing men and burning and looting stores and homes. Around noon on June 1st, the Oklahoma National Guard imposed martial law, ending the massacre. About 10,000 black people were left homeless, and the cost of the property damage amounted to more than $1.5 million in real estate and $750,000 in personal property, equivalent to $38.43 million in 2023. By the end of 1922, most of the residents' homes had been rebuilt, but the city and real estate companies refused to compensate them. Many survivors left Tulsa, while residents who chose to stay in the city regardless of race largely kept silent about the terror, violence, and resulting losses for decades. The massacre was largely omitted from local, state, and national histories for years. Satan can't cover his dirt, and that's what I'm saying. In 1996, 75 years after the massacre, okay,